Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a wise old tortoise. He was known for his calm and composed nature. The tortoise loved spending his days lounging on sun-drenched stones, observing the world around him with a sense of tranquility that puzzled other animals. One day a young hare hopped past the tortoise's usual sunbathing spot. The hare was known throughout the forest for his incredible speed. He would often boast about how swift and agile he was, always eager to show off his dashing moves. As the hare approached the tortoise, he couldn't resist the urge to tease the slow-moving reptile. "Hey, slowpoke," the hare called out, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "What's the rush? Are you on your way to a snail race?" The tortoise, unfazed by the hare's taunts, slowly turned his head and looked at the hare with a steady gaze. "I may be slow," the tortoise replied calmly, "but I also finish the race without collapsing from exhaustion." The hare let out a loud, mocking laugh, completely missing the point of the tortoise's words. "You and I are different, old man," the hare said dismissively. "I'm built for speed. You're built for, well, not much of anything. Just because you don't collapse doesn't mean you're winning. It just means you're really bad at sprinting." The tortoise remained calm, his eyes twinkling with amusement. He knew the hare's boasting was rooted in insecurity. The hare was afraid that if he couldn't win a race, his self-image would crumble. The two continued their conversation until the hare grew bored. With a final roll of his eyes, the hare hopped away, leaving the tortoise to his peaceful afternoon. The tortoise watched him go, a small smile playing on his lips. He understood that the hare's arrogance would eventually lead him into trouble, and he was right. Just a few weeks later, there was a big race planned in the forest. All the animals were invited, and they were excited to show off their unique talents. The hare, of course, was the favorite to win. He had trained hard for this moment, and he was eager to prove his superiority. The tortoise, too, decided to participate. He knew he couldn't beat the hare in a sprint, but he was confident in his own abilities. When the race began, the other animals took off like arrows. The hare shot ahead, leaving the tortoise far behind. As expected, the tortoise plodded steadily forward, his pace unwavering. The hare, with his bursts of speed, soon reached the halfway point and then slowed down. He decided to take a quick nap before continuing the race. After all, he had plenty of time to spare. He lay down under a shady tree, closed his eyes, and drifted off to sleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise kept moving, one step at a time. He didn't stop for rest or to admire the scenery. His focus was solely on the path ahead. By the time the hare woke up, the tortoise was already nearing the finish line. The hare panicked. He jumped up and ran as fast as he could, but it was too late. The tortoise had won the race. The other animals cheered for the unlikely winner, their voices echoing through the forest. The tortoise, panting slightly, raised his head in acknowledgement. He had proven that consistency and determination could triumph over raw talent and arrogance. The hare, defeated and embarrassed, tried to make excuses, but no one was listening. They had witnessed his laziness and disrespect, and they weren't willing to forgive him. From that day on, the hare never boasted again. He had learned a valuable lesson about humility and perseverance, and the tortoise became a local hero, proving that slow and steady can indeed win the race. Once upon a time, in a bustling city, there lived a hard-working man named Thomas. Thomas had a reputation for being punctual and reliable. He always arrived at work on time and never missed an important meeting. His colleagues admired him for his dedication and efficiency. One day, Thomas's boss approached him with a new assignment. "Thomas," his boss said, "I have a very important project for you. I need you to deliver this package to Mr. Bigglesworth by tomorrow morning. The client is expecting it to arrive by any means necessary." Thomas knew that Mr. Bigglesworth lived on the outskirts of town, making the journey a long and arduous one. But he didn't hesitate to accept the challenge. As soon as he got home, Thomas gathered all the supplies he needed for the journey. He packed his bag, checked his vehicle, and made sure everything was in order. Then, with the package securely stored, he set off into the night. Meanwhile, back at the office, a young and ambitious co-worker of Thomas named Ricky overheard his boss talking about the package. Ricky, who was known for his speedy deliveries, couldn't help but feel a surge of confidence. That should have been me, he thought, feeling a mix of resentment and ambition. Determined to impress their boss, Ricky decided to take matters into his own hands. Without telling anyone, he packed a similar-looking box and set off to deliver it to Mr. Bigglesworth, hoping to get credit for Thomas's hard work. As Ricky sped along the familiar streets, he felt a sense of satisfaction, knowing that he had made a smart decision. He imagined the praise he would receive from his boss and the potential promotion that might come his way. Lost in his thoughts, he didn't notice the sharp-eyed Thomas following him from a distance. When Ricky finally reached Mr. Bigglesworth's house, he quickly knocked on the door and dropped off the package. Feeling accomplished, he turned to leave, only to find Thomas standing right in front of him. "Ricky, what are you doing here?" Thomas asked calmly, his tone betraying no emotion. Ricky stammered, trying to explain his actions, but Thomas cut him off. "Don't bother explaining," Thomas said, shaking his head. "I saw what you did. You may have gotten here first, but that's not the point." Confused, Ricky looked down at the package in his hands and realized his mistake. He had forgotten to switch the boxes. In a panic, Ricky rushed to open the box, but it was too late. There was no turning back now. Feeling defeated and ashamed, Ricky slowly walked back home, knowing that he had been caught. The next day at work, the truth came to light. Thomas, true to his character, had delivered the correct package on time, impressing their boss and the client. On the other hand, Ricky's deception was revealed, and he faced disciplinary action from his boss. As for Thomas, his reputation as a diligent and honest worker continued to grow, making him a role model for punctuality and integrity in the workplace. The story serves as a reminder that honesty and hard work are the best policies, and that shortcuts and deception never lead to lasting success. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing content. We've got lots of classic tales and original stories coming your way. And if you've got a story of your own to share, we encourage you to post it on our platform. Who knows, you might even inspire others with your words. Thanks for watching.